Hello and welcome back to another football commentaries live stream. Hold on, there we go. And we are back for the 2021-2022 season, and we are starting off in Scotland, where Rangers begin their title defence against Livingston at Ibrox. For the first game in the Scottish Premier League season, Rangers come in as heavy favourites, but Livingston under David Martindale are a side not to underestimate. Livingston got to the League Cup final last season where they were beaten 1-0 by St Johnstone, with coming close to glory. Livingston against St Johnstone, they will want to push and try and do the same again. They may have to defy the odds to do it, but they'll definitely be looking to do well in the league and maybe try and nick a trophy in either the League Cup or in other trophies elsewhere. For Rangers, it is the same again for this league season. Their objective is to win the league, but can they do it once again unbeaten, where they won 32 in the league last year and only drew 6. An unbelievable record, but for Tuesday they have a huge game. They play their first leg of their Champions League qualifying third round tie against Malmo away. We obviously saw Celtic in the week drop out in the second round against Midtjylland. Can Rangers get to the proper group stage? So can they use this game to boost their confidence and get a win as they travel to Sweden on Tuesday? So for the first game of the Scottish Premiership season, who will come out on top? Will it be Rangers or will it be Livingston? We're ready. I'm excited. It's absolutely ridiculous how early the season starts. We're not even in August and we've got the Scottish League starting. It's great to see. I can't wait. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff if you're here. Let me just hold on. Oh, there we go. So yeah, hello everyone. Put your predictions in and all that. Let me just change that. Actually, bring that down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, put your predictions in. Kick-off is just about 6 minutes away. I must say, I'm not an expert for Livingston, so if I do get any names wrong or any information wrong, please let me know. I'm learning about the Scottish League more and more times I do commentaries on it. Kenzie, hello mate, how are you doing? Alright. Saying 3-0, and Sakala will score 2. That's the new signing. Obviously no Alfredo Morelos, he's currently isolated at the minute after playing international football with Colombia in the Copa America, so he's had to isolate before he can return, so that's going to be a big miss for Rangers, not just I think in the league, because I think they'll be okay without him in games like against Livingston, not trying to jinx it or anything, but in terms of that game against Malmo on Tuesday away, it's a big game. They want to try and get into the group stage of the Champions League, unlike Celtic, and Alfredo Morelos is a big player and they might need him. But for Fashion Sakala, I mean, he scored a goal against Real Madrid in the friendly I saw in the 2-1 win that they got against Ancelotti's Real Madrid team, which was a great win. Apparently they dominated, couldn't watch it, but apparently they dominated and they were fantastic. So he could be a great player. I've not really heard much of him, that he signed him on a contract till 2025 for free as well, which I think is fantastic. He scored 16 goals in the Belgian first tier last season, so he's a decent player. He's number 30, 5'10". I think he'll be great competition for Alfredo Morelos, who at the minute is still going to remain a Rangers player. Sorry about that. But what it is as well, it's great to see fans. I want to say there was 23,000 I read, because it does look like that number. It might be less, it might be more. Ibrox can hold around 50,000, so to see it nearly half full in Scotland's fantastic. Obviously seeing the Euros and fans in there was great, so hopefully we get to see a lot more fans in stadiums this season, and Rangers will kick off this first game of the season very, very soon. This is where the season starts for the whole league. This is the very first game of the season. Celtic play later tonight, I think 8 o'clock. So Rangers will get off to a winning start, put the pressure on early. Celtic look a bit all over the place still, and with a new manager, will they improve? I don't think so. I think it'll be a similar season to last, and that's not me blaming the new manager, because he can't help walking into a mess. You can only deal with what you're given, and he's not been given a great squad. I know Odsonne Edouard might be on his way out as well, and he might be coming to the Premier League. And Leicester's interested, Brighton as well. I think Crystal Palace is also one of those clubs who have an unbelievable transfer market summer. They might come in for him as well, as it does look like Livingston is going to perform a guard of honour for the Rangers players. Obviously won the league last season unbeaten, and this is the first game they're having back, I think, with fans, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of a league game. So this is going to be a great moment for their players, winning the league. Sorry about that. Here comes the referee, John Beaton. And here he comes. James Tavernier leads them out. Goalkeeper John McLaughlin ahead of Alan McGregor. I'm presuming he will start the Champions League game. And then there they come as well. A massive cheer. I can't obviously hear it, but I'm presuming it's a massive cheer. Loads of noise for the Rangers players. It looks really packed. Obviously for the world we live in now with the COVID, it looks really full, and I'm very excited to see. But Rangers will line up with John McLaughlin in goal, the backup goalkeeper. He did get in the squad for the Euros, didn't play a single game. Got James Tavernier right back with Connor Galton alongside with Liam Balogun at the back ahead of Jack Simpson, who's on the bench, and Calvin Bassey, formerly of Leicester. He starts at left back ahead of Borna Barisic, who's not even in the squad for today's game. Glenn Kamara, Stephen Davis, Joe Rebo make up the midfield three, with Inas Hadji, Fashion Sakala and Ryan Kent making up a front three. No Kamara Roof, he's on the bench, and Cedric Itten is also on the bench as well. And for Livingston, we've got Max Stryk in goal with hold on, let me make sure I'm getting this right. With McMillan at right back. He's usually a left back, but he's playing right back for today's game. Ayo Obilai is at the back with Jack Fitzwater, and Adam Lewis makes the back four at left back. Midfield three. It's pretty standard 4-3-3. They've got Craig Sibbald in midfield with captain Scott Pittman, and Jason Hall is on the right of the midfield three. He was signed from Rangers back in 2020. And in the front three of Alan Forrest, who's missed the last 3 games, presuming to injury, but he's back in and starting for today's game, with James Penrice on the left, usually left back as well, but he's been used in a more advanced role. He didn't get a single goal last year. And the new signed from Aberdeen, Bruce Anderson, will play up front, can also play on the right, and just in behind the striker. He's already got 2 goals in 4 Livingston appearances so far, as they've already started playing some competitive games in the League Cup, as they go through a group stage to get to the League Cup knockout stages. They finish second in that group, and they will progress to the next round of the League Cup. Currently a minute's silence going on for Rangers. I did try and, a minute's silence. It is for Rangers captain Alistair Ali Dawson. He unfortunately passed away in the week. I remembered to screenshot that because I knew they were going to do a minute's silence. So yeah, I'd have no connection to Rangers, but from what I'm reading, he's a massive person within the club, and there was a minute's silence for him. And here he is, Sakala. What can he do? The 24-year-old getting straight into the team as well, obviously due to the lack of Alfredo Morelos in the team due to his Copa America stint, where they didn't go too far. Colombia, in terms of they probably would want to get to the final, but it is what it is. But we're about to get underway for this game. Steven Gerrard is ready for another season. So is everyone else who watches. As we are about to get underway, it'll be Rangers to kick off with Ryan Kent at the Ibrox Stadium. Just waiting for the whistle from John Beaton, and we'll be getting right underway here in Glasgow. Here we go. Just waiting for that whistle. And he blows a whistle, and they all take the knee. A fantastic gesture. I didn't know they did that in the Scottish League. Fantastic to see all players taking the knee, including all staff, and looked like it was met by a round of applause by the fans, which is also great to see. And we are underway for the 2021-2022 Scottish Premiership season. It's Rangers versus Livingston, as Connor Galton sends a ball over the top towards Ryan Kent on the left. Can bring it down in the final third, Great work here from Ryan Kent. Plays it back to Stephen Davis, who chips in towards the back post. It's collected by Stryk, and Livingston are in possession. Good early start for Rangers on the front foot. Get the timer underway as well. There we go. As the goalkeeper sends it forward, it's McLaughlin to come and chase towards the corner flag. He'll be bumped near towards the crowd, but he'll see it out for a goal kick. Bit of a long ball there from Max Stryk. Already 2 clean sheets this season in the League Cup. He got 12 clean sheets in 28 appearances last season as well, the goalkeeper, but with the opposite keeper now of McLaughlin. Balogun to Bassey, formerly of Leicester, into Aribo, trying to turn, but forced backwards by number 21, McMillan. Now back to Goldson, who takes control. Heavy touch, he's getting chased down, but just about gets it to Calvin Bassey. Tries to take on number 17, Alan Forrest, and does do so, and sends it down the line. Chested down by Sakala towards Kent. Can't quite keep it in play, because it's come off number 18, Holt. I think we're throwing for Rangers. Well, won that from Kent, because I thought he just took too much of a heavy touch out of play, but got a nick off the Livingston midfielder. And it's now with Calvin Bassey with the throw-in. Got the 1 goal last season, I think, in the League Cup, I'm pretty sure, against Falkirk. It's already been switched over to Tavernier through a pass from Bassey to Goldson, then to the captain Tavernier. He sprints into the Livingston half. He's got support, but he's going to keep going and then go inside to Kamara in the box. Once more to Hadji. Surrounded by Livingston players, tries to play back to Tavernier. Tackled by number 16, Lewis. And as he clears it, cannons back off Tavernier and for a goal kick for Livingston. Good, positive first 2 and a bit minutes for both teams. I think Livingston, they're getting up the pitch. They don't want to be sat back for the majority of the game. They had a great season last year. Livingston finished on 45 points, but finished in 6th. They did get into the top half of the table, so finished in the higher end where they kind of split off the league into 2, and they were on the higher table. So that's a great achievement. As Stryk sends it up forward. Can it be headed on by Forrest? No, it's headed away by Bassey and held back forward by McMillan. It's over the top, and Anderson will give chase, and it's easily collected by McLaughlin. He'll roll out to Davis, back to Goldson in the 18-yard box for Rangers, and they will once again try and rebuild. Goldson, unbelievable season last year, played every single minute of the season. Absolutely unbelievable. Scored 8 goals as well. 2 of them were against Celtic in a 2-1 win. As they do help it forward here with Aribo. Can he complete a 1-2 Bassey? Oh, does he? Tries to turn back onto his left. He's got Bassey in support, and he just about gets to him, and then he pokes it back to Aribo on the edge. Don't know how that's worked, but it has. Plays it across to Kamara. First time touching to Hadji. Over to Tavernier, who strikes, and it's always going over the bar. But again, positive play from Rangers, and they're looking dangerous in that new home kit. A lot of gold involved, and rightly so. They've waited a long time to become champions again. And it's a beautiful kit, I must admit, with that gold through the sponsor and the badge. And everything about that kit does look very nice. And again, Tavernier, unbelievable season for him as well. 1 player of the year, got 19 goals and 11 assists, which is unbelievable for James Tavernier. Here's Max Stryk again from the goal kick. Can he maybe use this one a bit better? He's going to go long again. He's going to go up towards Bruce Anderson, who obviously cannot win the header on Connor Goldson, but it's headed back forward by Fitzwater. And the header won again by Goldson, and bit of afters there as Goldson was fouled by Bruce Anderson. Anderson didn't like the way he won the foul, Goldson. He didn't think it was a foul, and just a little bit of a shove, but nothing doing. We're back underway with Goldson, being closed down by Anderson, but just about shifts it to Tavernier. Inside towards Sakala, just behind him, and it can be cleared by Obilai. Only as far as Balogun, who nearly gets mixed up there with Goldson. They nearly collided into each other, and Anderson nearly nicked the ball away, but they just about worked it out. And it's now back with Connor Goldson. Sees a switch onto the left to Calvin Bassey. Fantastically brought down on the halfway line. Tries to adventure forward, but he's not allowed to there by Alan Forrest. It's going to be a throw-in for Rangers, just on the halfway line. Thrown into Stephen Davis. He's been pressured here by Sibold, but he shifts it away from him. It was a Connor Goldson. Unbelievable midfield play. Stephen Davis, 36 years old and still got it. As they've shifted it to Tavernier, who loves to get forward, and he loves to put a great cross in like that, and it's just into the hands of Stryk. And on-rushing Sakala was bursting a neck to get on the end of that cross. Early cross as well. right into that corridor where you love to put the crosses in, and he just about misses Sakala, but right idea. As Livingston come forward with a ball over the top, and it's just too much on it. Bruce Anderson can't bring that one down, and it's now with John McLaughlin, the second keeper. Got 12 clean sheets last season in 14 games. I think got 9 clean sheets in 11 league games he played in. Unbelievable record, especially as a backup keeper as well, to have the confidence in your goalkeeper to know he can keep clean sheets on a regular basis. Hadji's just been caught in possession here, but just about wins it back with a good toe in and getting it back to Glenn Kamara. Now with Tavernier. Hadji back to Tavernier. Tackle late Hadji as he shifted it back to the captain, and he's going to win a free kick for his team there. Just as he poked it back to Tavernier, he was just caught late, and it means Rangers restart with a free kick and then just keep possession with Galton. Now they try and go forward with a switch over towards Tavernier, heads it inside towards Hadji, can't get there, but it's sliced by Lewis, and it's just in the air, it's bobbling, he's pulled down Hadji by Lewis, and that's going to be another free kick in a much more dangerous area. Great win of a free kick there by Hadji. I think it was a free kick because he sliced a clearance and then it was just bouncing, and it was bouncing backwards because of the spin he got on the ball, and he was just holding Hadji back from getting onto it, and he's pulled him down. Free kick, rightly given. Stupid really from Adam Lewis there, currently on loan from Liverpool for this season. I'm not really sure why on earth he's fouled him like that. Hadji wasn't really going anywhere. He had to bring the ball down first and then try and take on Adam Lewis. I don't really get why he's give the free kick there, right on the right hand side as well. Unbelievable position for Tavernier. He's literally put a cross in very similar distance just before, and it nearly caused a goal for Rangers. So he's going to try and look to do it again here, Tavernier. Right foot, ball in. Great area to Hadji at the back post, unmarked, shifts onto his right foot, and shoots and scores! Top left corner, and the man who won the free kick scores from it. Unmarked at the back post, really poor defending from Livingston. Not sure what they're doing at all. It's an easy goal for Hadji, and just over 7 minutes in, they picked up where they left off from last season. They're leading 1-0. They weren't beaten in the league last season. They want to try and do that again. And what a start they've had to doing so. Awful defending. Who's left him unmarked? He brings it down. Realised the left foot shot's not on. So just shifts it onto his right foot instead. Sends two back out to the stadium. They've got to buy a ticket to get back in. They've been sent, and then plays it back over to the near post with his right foot right into the corner. Who left him unmarked there? I'm not sure. I think it was number 29. James Penrice gets completely sucked in, leaving Hadji at the back post all on his own, brings it down, shifts onto the right, top left corner finish, easy as you like. And Hadji, just before the game, said in an interview he wants to increase his goal numbers for the season because he knows he's getting a good amount of assists, but he needs to get more goals. And he's got the first goal in the Scottish Premiership season for Rangers and for the league. And Rangers lead 1-0. Change to score quickly as Tavernier's away again on the right hand side. Ball sent through and over, just about keeps it in and crosses it towards Kent at the back post. Heads it to Aribo, chest, shoots, and just about saved by Stryk. Livingston are struggling. We knew they were going to. They've had a lot of new players come in, bit of a refresh at the club, but how's Aribo been able to chest it through 2 players and then have the space in the box to get a shot away? It's a shocking start for Livingston. Aribo just mishitting it, and it bounced and nearly deceived the goalkeeper, but he was just able to get over to save it. And it's the goal scorer Hadji to take this outswinging corner, left-footed ball in, headed away by Obilai, and then Kamara brings it down nicely to Kent as they do keep possession and look to keep the pressure here as Hadji plays it down the line to Aribo. Zip ball in and it goes right for everyone. And out the opposite side for another corner, another throw in for Rangers. I think it just took a nick off a Livingston defender. Great start. Hadji just delaying the pass, then finding Aribo when it was the right time. Zipped it across, and it was just flicked away there by Adam Lewis of Livingston, who gave away the free kick for the goal. Shocking defending. Just thrown into Aribo, tackled, and can Livingston bring it away with Sibbald? Oh, foul. I think committed by Rangers there. I think it was, I'm not sure who was fouled. I think it was Jason Holt was fouled as he was trying to get away there with Sibbald. Hadji goal, chops in. Look at them two. They try and slide to block the shot. Like I said, sends them out the stadium. Don't know how much tickets are, but they'll need to try and buy their way back in. And then a beautiful finish. Slams it top right. Free kick's gone to the right side to McMillan. Heads it inside. But it's then lost by Forrest. And cleared by Rangers up towards Sakala. Nice hold-up play. And then gets it through to Kent, who we know's got the pace. Takes a heavy touch down the line. Chops inside. Has to try and get past Forrest, who's defending quite well. He cuts inside on the edge. Fancies a shot. And it deflects right down the throat of Max Stryk. And Rangers again looking dangerous. Kent just so majestic when on the ball. I think the move from him to Liverpool to Rangers was perfect. Plays week in, week out, and last season was his best for goals contribution with 13 goals, 15 assists. Ryan Kent is Livingston trying to get it forward, but the ball's gone straight to Tavernier. Forward to Hadji. Now Kamara down the line, and Sakala chases, but an offside flag's gone up against the 24-year-old. Steven Gerrard watching on as he begins this new season, and it's now his 171st game as Rangers manager. That's competitively. Won 112, only losing 22 as well. Got a great record against Livingston. 11 games, 9 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss, and that was in his first ever meeting against Livingston. They lost 1-0. And Livingston hasn't got a great record against Rangers as of late. Rangers have won 9 of the last 10 meetings. And it looks like they're going to win another one here as Sibbald picks it up from the long goal kick. It's now out to McMillan. Lifted, headed away by Balogun. Chested down by Kent to Davis. Heavy touch forward to Kamara, and play continues even though Davis was brought to the ground. Kamara just towards the halfway line, holds it up. It's now Aribo. Out to Calvin Bassey. The number 3. To Kent. Oh, through the legs. Inside. Oh, he's tackled, but the tackle falls to Bassey and Rangers keep possession. Great skill from Kent, sending it right through the legs. Aribo. Twisting, turning. And heads back to Liam Balogun. Formerly of Brighton. Liam Balogun did get the red card against Slavia Prague in the home leg of the Europa League last year. It was a bit of a game to forget, just in every single sense, as Hadji's been brutally hacked down there by, I'm not sure who that is. He's going to get booked for it. I think if it is who I think it is, then he's had an absolute howler of a start. Let's have a look. Just laid it into to Hadji Connor Goldson, and yeah, thought it was Adam Lewis, the one who gave the free kick away, is also now on a booking. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him possibly sent off. He is, like I said, on loan from Liverpool for this season. He's been at Liverpool since 2006. And Hadji is staying down. Quite worryingly, to say the least. The medical staff are on this. Actually isn't looking too good for Hadji. It did look like a malicious challenge, but maybe one that he could recover from. So Gerrard's got some early thinking to do if he needs to make a change. Yeah, it was a brutal one. Must admit, it wasn't the most beautiful challenges. Oh, it's just nasty. I just don't think it's needed. The ball's not there to be won, I don't think. The ball's gone, and he's just took him out, Adam Lewis. He's having a shocker of a game, gave the free kick away. Now he's on a booking. Hopefully he'll be okay. Tavernier's just having a look to help out. But Adam Lewis is having a bit of a shocking start to his Scottish Premiership career. Hadji's been helped back onto his feet, just hobbling around at the minute. Hopefully he'll be able to continue, because obviously he's had a fantastic start to the game, scoring the only goal so far. So he's going to be allowed back on the pitch. Hopefully he can run it off. It's just one of them that he can run off. But it was a nasty free kick, and it's another chance for Tavernier to get a cross in. It's quite further out than the free kick. It's about halfway into the half. But if he can maybe glide this into the box, he could cause some issues. He zips it in all the way through. It's punched away by Stryk, but there's an offside flag anyway, and a free kick for Livingston. Thought he might have just glided it, but he whipped it right in. I think Sakala and Bassey were going for it, but Max Stryk came through with a punch to save Livingston from another goal. If you are new as well, please like and subscribe. That'd be fantastic. More commentaries coming in the future, and definitely more Scottish Premiership and Scottish Premiership games in general. especially if Rangers make the Champions League. There'll be some good commentaries. As Holt has it back to strike, because Livingston looked to try and play out from the back, but he's going to have to send it towards the right hand side. It's a good ball actually to McMillan on the halfway line. Tries to go inside, cut out by Davis, but his kick's gone straight back to McMillan. Pass again deflected, but to the captain Pittman. It goes back to Obilai, who sends a ball over the top towards Anderson, but he's already been flagged early, even though Balogun won the header from the over the top ball. Just tries to get inside there, sounding a free. Bruce Anderson's been involved in a little bit of the action so far within the first 5 minutes. Been a bit quiet for the last 10. As Rangers look to play out from the back with Connor Goldson to Tavernier. What a little partnership they've got down that defensive right hand side as he goes towards Kent, who's drifted to the right hand side here. He's towards the corner flag. He's trying to work himself away from Fitzwater. Now inside to Davis, through to Hadji. Tries to let it off into Sakala. Tries to tackle Obilai and can't. He can clear the centre back. Looks like Balogun. As all outfield players are currently in the Livingston half. Goldson forward to Stephen Davis. Just over to Kamara. Tavernier, Davis, Kent, heavy touch, and Livingston can have it back with Penrice, who sends it down the line towards Bruce Anderson. Poor ball. Connor Goldson can easily intercept and get it back into the possession of Rangers. It's with Aribo in the midfield. Back to McLaughlin. But yeah, I was just saying before, the Hadji foul where Balogun got sent off against Slavia Prague and also Kamar Roof, but it was just a game to forget in general. Obviously, that was where the racism, apparently happened towards Glenn Kamara. The case for that and the court case is a bit of a mess. They're saying there's going to, just not forget it, but, rule it as nothing really. They gave him a ban for what happened, and it's not going to be much more. It was a weird one, because obviously Kamara was also done for the way he reacted, but then he has every right to, it's one of them. It's just not great at all to hear about, and especially when there's complications about it, when people are saying, the player would never be racist, and then, the Rangers players saying, well, he was, because Kamara wouldn't react like that, and it's just not great for the game at all, and thankfully Kamara has come out strong from it, got the backing of everyone around him, and he's now back playing, and hopefully he'll have a great season. But yeah, that wasn't a great sight to see in the game. Not Rangers' fault at all. Just it was just awful to watch, because when someone like Glenn Kamara is so certain he heard it, and then you're getting everyone else on the opposite team defending their own teammate who could have possibly been racist. It's just a difficult one, isn't it? But that's last season, and we want to not forget that, because it happened, but definitely use that as a way to improve the game and show everyone just it cannot happen at all. And hopefully players, and I hope Slavia Prague definitely learnt from that, because it was disgusting to watch for sure. As we get back into this game, and it's just Rangers in possession. Livingston tried to come forward there, but it didn't really work out. They're just struggling to get a foot on the game and move the ball nicely. They're just kind of not rushing, but just panicking, not really knowing what to do. As Bassi gets it into Hadji, then back forward to Bassi, sends a low ball into the box, comes back to him as it's deflected away. Has to turn back and keeps possession really well, and then puts a right-footed cross in. Unlucky there from Bassi, headed away by Obalai, and then headed away once more by Forrest, and a throw-in for Rangers. Great work there from Bassi down the left, and he's met by a strong round of applause there from the Rangers supporters. Signed last season, Bassi, so not really experienced the support of the Rangers fans yet until the start of the season with the pre-season matches. Played Arsenal, they drew, beat Real Madrid as well, which isn't the worst result in the world. So it looks like Kent and Hadji have swapped wings here, and Kent's going to look to have a go at Adam Lewis, who is on a booking. We've got to remember that now, as he's step over in, fake shot in, going back to Tavernier, who back heels to Kent again. Can they get a ball in the box? He will try a ball in the box, cleared away by Fitzwater, and away for a throw-in for Rangers, who are in complete control of this match, and you would expect to see them in this much control as well. They did finish top of their group as well in the Europa League, Rangers, unbeaten. They won 4 and drew 2. Again, they're showing how dominant they were last year, and they want to try and get into the Champions League this season as Tavernier wins another throw-in. He comes off. That's Penrice. Yeah, and then they played Antwerp in the round of 32, where they won 4-3 away and then 5-2 at home, and then obviously knocked out by Slavia Prague in the round of 16. We're also knocked out, I think, in that stage around 16 last season. And they beat Braga in the round of 32 in the season before last, and then were beaten by Bayer Leverkusen. But that game against Bayer Leverkusen, they definitely put a good performance out. I remember watching it and thinking, they've got something if they can keep rebuilding. Then they're just getting stronger and stronger, Rangers. And I just want to see them in the Champions League because I think they could be a real dark horse in terms of maybe upsetting a few big teams if they do come up against them in the Champions League. There's Jason Holt here, just gives away a free kick on the left for Rangers again as they were just working it down the left hand side, and it's going to be Hadji to possibly take. Tavernier's also coming over from right back to the left hand side to assess the options and maybe think about taking it himself. Well, they are sending up the centre halves, Connor Goldson and Leon Balogun. Yet to score Balogun for Rangers in his 29th appearance today. Tavernier's walking away from it. It's a one-man wall, and it's going to be Hadji to put this in as an in-swinger. They've looked to try and play the offside trap there, Livingston. It's worked. It's bold because the ball went in and no one moved from Livingston. They all stayed still, and Connor Goldson ran in. He went over his head, so it wasn't really a bother anyway. But if Goldson heads that in, he just about missed it, but if Goldson heads that in, then he's onside. I'm not sure if it would have been given because I don't think there's VAR in the Scottish League. So Goldson was onside there. Risky to play that kind of offside trap where you just don't move at all. As the ball's been played forward, it's now Bruce Anderson. Back to goal. He keeps it. Very nicely done. Sibold crosses in and it deflects, does it? Yes, it does, off Connor Goldson for a corner. He's the one man who's actually getting on the ball for Livingston. I feel like I've said his name the most out of all the players they've got. Craig Sibold, number 10. Did get a goal in their last League Cup game before today. Sibold got 2 last season. 2 goals. Can already get halfway there if he scores today. But this is the first real chance that Livingston have had to try and get a good chance at goal. Crossed in. Obiline with the free header. Can't direct it towards goal. It goes towards the right hand side where it can be kept alive here by Fitzwater. Tries to go inside. Stopped by Goldson. Tries to see it out for a goal kick. Can't quite do so. It's then kicked off Goldson by Fitzwater and wins a throw in towards the corner flag. Well played by the centre half. Definitely things to think about for the manager, David Martindale. Might be a long throw in here. Not much movement here for Livingston. Throws it. And another throw in there. Won by Jack McMillan. Takes the throw in a lot quicker and throws it all the way back to the centre-back Obilai. Then across to Fitzwater, who did win the throw in on that side and tries to send it to the left-hand side. That's really poor. Too much pace and height on it and out for a Rangers throwing inside their own half. Needs to be better there. Jack Fitzwater. Joined from West Brom in 2020. Can play at centre-back and at right-back. Playing centre-back today. Balogun to Bassi. It's now Kent back into Bassi again. Great play. You will sprint forward. Trying to avoid challenges there. And one of the challenges by Forrest has earned him a booking. Slide tackle from Forrest. Let's have a look. So Bassi was getting in. And he slide tackles from behind. And then takes him out. And he was also met by Craig Sibold, who just kind of blocked him off. But Alan Forrest has also been booked. Great running from Bassi. He looks like a real threat when he gets running. A bit like Tavernier on the opposite side. When he gets running, he does it with a lot of intent. And he's won a free kick there and got another Livingston player booked. Him and Adam Lewis is now booked as he's taken short to Kent, who'll try and cause an opportunity. Tackled by Alan Forrest fairly this time. He kicks the ball out of play for another throw-in. Just about to hit the 25-minute mark, and it's Rangers 1-0 up. Hadji with the goal in the 8th minute. It's now Kamara to Bassi. Sees a crossing opportunity, takes it. It's cleared away, headed on, only as far as Kamara, who keeps it in, and plays it back to Stephen Davis, number 10, into Kamara, met by Craig Sibbald, and he's tackled him fairly, and he kicks the ball out of play through the tackle for another throw-in for Rangers, taken quickly to Balogun. Now Davis over to Connor Goldson, well played, and a lot of room now for Rangers on this right-hand side, but they might go down the left again. With Davis allowed to turn. Kent. We should be back now. Sorry if you suffered any buffering there. That was all on my end. We are back. Rangers still in possession towards the halfway line. It's Connor Goldson not really being pressed. As Livingston defending a 4-4-2. Pittman and Anderson playing as the front two. He's now shifted to Aribo far left. Bassey. Aribo. Kent. Holds it up. Waiting for the right runs. And Bassey's made it on the left. He's going to get a chance to cross it. He does do so. Deflects off Obilai. And hooked away by Craig Sibbald. Aribo was coming in there. With a bit of, intent to bag a goal. But it was well cleared away by Sibbald. Yeah, sorry about that. That was all me in terms of the disconnection. Bassey. Just about getting out of his feet and playing it back to Stephen Davis. To Kamara. Takes it on the turn. Walks towards the left-hand side. Can he release it? No, he's tackled fairly again by Sibbald. Can Forrest pick it up? Yes, he can. As he's been challenged by Calvin Bassey from behind. Jason Holt was the man who just got taken out. Good play there from the former Rangers man. Played 115 times for Rangers in his 5-year stay. Jason Holt. Scoring 15 goals. As they're just showing their Borna Barisic in the stands. Obviously being rested for the game in midweek against Malmo. As the free kick's been taken by Livingston. Headed away by Balogun and headed to the right side by Stephen Davis. As that was a real easy attack to deal with for Rangers. As they look to send away Sakala. Headed won by Obilai and it falls to Hadji. Who's this time on the right hand side. He's got Tavernier making a run. Decides to use it to create more space for himself and cut inside and play it across to Aribo. Tries to 1-2 with Davis, doesn't work, and it can now be brought away by Livingston. Played forward, trying to find Bruce Anderson in behind, but he's offside, and it'll be a free kick to Rangers again. Bruce Anderson really struggling to get good support up there. A little bit isolated on his own. Kamara looks through the gap to find Tavernier. Had to be tackled there with a slide challenge by Adam Lewis, who just seems to have settled down a little bit in the game. Had a bit of a messy first 15 or so minutes. This is Davis. Sakala. Not quite had an opportunity yet, but doing what he needs to do correctly, I'd say. Just being in the right areas, ready to pounce on any crosses. Every time a crosser looks to come in, he's making moves and looking to try and find the space to score the goals, which he'll need to do this season if Morelos is either injured or not available. As Kent comes in from the left-hand side. Plays across to Glenn Kamara. Tavernier. One-on-one with Penrice. Goes to Kent. A little bit of free roam here for Kent. Kind of switching from left to right. Just not really having a certain position to have to be in. There's Aribo. Storms through. And plays it through to Sakala. Goalkeeping by Stryk. Quickly off his line to gather the ball as Sakala nearly got there before him. But Aribo sending Forrest away and then not being closed down from the pass and found Sakala through. Got away from Obilai, but the goalkeeper came in to save the day and just smother the ball. But Hadji's down again, presuming effects from the tackle by Adam Lewis. And he did get the goal scoring underway with the only goal so far. In the 8th minute, was found unmarked at the back post from the free kick. He won. And finished it with an unbelievable just kind of just like I don't know even how to describe it. It's just one of those where you literally thought, I'm going to score here, and just absolutely smashed it. Not one of those where you try and place it in. He just went, no, I'm going to smash this. Did smash it, and he reaped the rewards as he is having to be replaced. And that is not great to see because they've obviously got to play Malmo on Tuesday, and Hadji He's looking good today, and he probably would have been chosen for Tuesday, but he's going to have to be replaced by Scott Wright, signed from Aberdeen in February of this year. Pre-contract signing for next year, but I think they paid a little bit of a fee to get him earlier. So he's going to come on. Big boots to fill for Scott Wright, because Hadji's obviously scored so far in this game. It looks like we're going to get back underway here. With Tavernier with a throw-in on the right-hand side. Sorry. Throws it back to the goalkeeper, Max Strike, as I think Rangers kicked it out of play to allow Hadji to come off soon, because he obviously couldn't continue. Like I said, he said he's happy with the amount of assists he was getting last year. He got 15. He's wanting to improve his goal tally, which he got was 8, and he's already scored 1 this season, so he'll be looking to beat the number he got last year as Sibbald heads it down. Caught late there, is he, Pittman? No, he's not. Play continues, and Bassey again down this left, storming away. Unreal pace from the left back. Tries to cut inside with a little bit of a chop, but he's been tackled fairly. Then he takes a quick throw in into Ryan Kent. Not messing about here, Rangers. They want to probably get a second. It's Bassey. Lets it run across his body. Taken down as well by number 18, Jason Holt. It'll be a free kick on the left in the dangerous area. Try and get the crowd going as well. Calvin Bassey. Thank you to everyone who's been joining in the stream as well. We've had, I think it's about 20 people at one point, so that's absolutely fantastic to see for the first commentary of the season. I'm not sure when the next commentary will be. Follow the Instagram, football_commentaries, where I post updates of when the commentaries are going to happen. And just keep an eye out on the channel in general, and you'll see it scheduled. It's Tavernier, in-swinger, crosses it in. Great ball! Falls and cleared. I think Kamara and Aribo, and Sibbald were going for it, and it kind of just got jammed in between them, and it flicked into the box and cleared in the end. So Calvin Bassey has a throw-in into Aribo. Bassey loses out, and Forrest can bring it away here. Pulled to the ground by Bassey, and it will be a free kick, and it should be a booking for Bassey because he's committed 2 challenges now. Should really be consistent. The referee's booked Livingston plays twice for early challenges. Yes, both I think were yellow cards, but he's done 2 now, Bassey, and I would both add them up to be yellow cards. As John Beaton disagrees with me, the referee. So it'll be Obilai to take the centre half. 26 years of age now, but back in the 2010-2011 season he was at Chelsea under 18s and was also released by Sheffield Wednesday in 2014. Here's a new signing from Queen of South as he sends it diagonally to the left hand side. Penrice tries to head it into the box, hooked away by Connor Goldson as it travels in the air, and Stephen Davis tries to head it away, almost finds Craig Sibbald, who heads it forward to Anderson, who flicks it on. Penrice headed forward. Can Pittman get there? It's again hooked away by Goldson, and it's a throw-in right on the corner flag on the Livingston left, as they've got a bit of defending to do here, Rangers. Throw-in here on the left. Penrice can't get it forward. Can be cleared by Rangers in the end. Always fires back to Livingston defence. All the way back to the keeper. A bit disappointing that they're throwing right on the corner flag and they've been forced all the way back to their goalkeeper. They're not going to get many chances, and while it's 1-0, I feel like they need to be a bit more dangerous, as the ball sent forward again long, and it's going to come straight back to them as it's picked up by Rangers with Tavernier. I get it's hard for Livingston. They've not got the quality of players to really compete against Rangers in a level where they can go back and forth with good strong attacks, but it's again one of those where you just got to just not get sucked into playing the long ball just to get the ball forward. Just try and build it up if they can, because they've got some decent ball playing midfielders, Pittman, Holt and Sibbald. They've got defenders to do here with Kent on the left, step overs, chops, tries to get onto his right, falls towards the corner flag, goes back to Bassey. Davis chips to Tavernier, can't bring it down, goal kick. We've got a goal kick here with Max Strike, the keeper, to the left. I know it's actually quite central there. Headed one though by Balogun, straight to Davis. One back though by Livingston, that's more like it. Challenging aerially. Goes forward, it's a bit ping pong here, back and forth. Who will it fall to? It will fall to Rangers in the end as they can spring an attack now. Just literally headering back and forth there in the midfield between the two sides, and Rangers were the ones who can get it on the ground first and start playing ball again. Bassey goes back to Balogun, and over it goes to Connor Goldson. Nearly half time here, 9 minutes away. I think we'll get a little bit of added on time, maybe 2 minutes due to the Hadji injury. He has been replaced by Scott Wright, who lays it off into Tavernier here, and down the line it goes to Scott Wright, formerly of Aberdeen. Inside to Aribo, nicely taken. He's got Scott Wright on an overlap, uses him, takes too much of a heavy touch, and out he goes for a goal kick. Poor there from Scott Wright, really. I think he should have done a little bit better. Made the right run on the overlap, and Aribo found him well. Making sure the weight of pass was correct, and his weight of touch wasn't the thing that was correct, and he's lost the ball. And a goal kick it'll be. Livingston keep having to go long because they can't play out from the back just due to the press and the way they set up Rangers. But every time they go long, they're just losing it because Bruce Anderson at about 5'7", 5'8" isn't the tallest of players. As he goes to the left here, Tavernier wins it. Headed back forward by Lewis. Galton back to where it came from, and it's chested down by Sakala. Holds it up nicely, but just about tackled, and a heavy challenge, but it falls right to Anderson. It is. Can he try and take on Goldson? He can't. He thinks he's been fouled there as he takes a touch into the box and he was brought down, but I don't think there was much in it as Anderson was trying to cause a few issues for Rangers, but doesn't quite have the quality to do so. And Rangers rebuild again. Balogun. Ball lifted over the top towards Aribo, tries to bring it down, met by Obilai, who clears for a Rangers throw-in on the left-hand side. Completed only the second unbeaten run in Scottish modern football history, which I think is pretty impressive by Rangers, and they'll want to do it again. Imagine that back-to-back unbeaten league seasons. Fantastic, and obviously I've mentioned before that we played Malmo on Tuesday. It was either Malmo or Helsinki. And Malmo progressed in that one, so it won't be an easy game. Malmo are a half-decent side in the Swedish league. Bassey has it. Down the line to Aribo, has to hold it up, and then gets it back through to Bassey. His touch is heavy, but just about keeps it in as he crosses, and it actually wasn't kept in play by Bassey as he falls into the advertisement boards. And it'll be a goal kick for Livingston. Yeah, just the touch was too heavy as he attempted to take it in his stride, but he looks like a great backup, Calvin Bassey, and maybe will be one to maybe challenge Borna Barisic for a spot, because Bassey looks a real player at the age of 21. Was at Leicester for 5 years before making the switch to Scotland. Stryk, goal kick, forward it goes. Header won by Balogun, right over to the left to Bassey. That's actually a really good header, that. And he'll go back to John McLaughlin. Takes a touch and pass it forward to Balogun. His touch just about gets away from the Livingston player, and they can go forward here as Kamara plays into Tavernier. Right with the ball. Tries to find the run of Tavernier, just a little bit too adventurous and I think a little bit too quick there. Scott Wright with the thinking. Trying to find Tavernier on the run. Couldn't quite do so, out for a goal kick. Good thinking though by Scott Wright. As Alan McGregor sits on the bench for this one. I'm presuming he's been saved for the game against Malmo. He was nominated for Player of the Year last year alongside the likes of Tavernier and I think Stephen Davis as well, so was also one of them. 22 clean sheets. It's his second spell at Rangers. His first one was from 1998 to 2012 and then left for Besiktas, where he stayed for 1 season before moving to Hull. As Penrice has it for Livingston, as John McLaughlin, the other keeper for Rangers, might have to be tested here. Sibbald. Ball lifted in, chested away by Balogun and then volleyed by Goldson as it's out for a throw-in. They're struggling to really get a chance for a shot or anything in Livingston, and if they could get a goal somehow before half-time, it'd be a great chance to maybe get something from this game. Because although the Rangers have had all the ball, they've not made loads of great chances. Obviously, they've got in the box a few times, a few pullbacks, but nothing, too dangerous for Livingston. Obviously the goal was poor to concede, leaving Hadji at the back stick alone. Fitzwater going to try down the left hand side here. Ball over the top. Can Bruce Anderson get on it? He will get there ahead of Balogun, but his touch is heavy and he can't avoid a goal kick. And he's looking relatively calm, Bruce Anderson, despite being, like I said before, really isolated up front for Livingston. And McLaughlin will take this goal kick at number 33. They've got two older keepers in terms of football, in terms Rangers. McLaughlin's 33 and McGregor's 39. Glenn Kamara right as they play out from the back. They're in the defensive third here. He's on the edge of the box. Scott Wright can spin the Livingston player and get running forward, and he goes over to the left to Bassi with a lot of space now. Relating towards a Rebo, poor short pass, and it can be cut out quite aggressively there by the captain, Scott Pittman, who's also been at the club since 2015, made captain this season. His dad was born in the USA, so has dual citizenship. Tavernier, they work it from the throw-in that was given away by Pittman. Sakala, just coming a little bit deeper for the ball. Laying it into Tavernier towards Kent, picked up nicely again by Pittman and has to try and hold up against Kent. He's fouled by Kent and he wins a free kick. Nicely done by the captain, just giving Livingston just a bit of breathing time. It's quite relentless when Rangers get on the ball. They, try their best to get forward as quick as they can, and obviously rightly so. They've got the quality to do it. It looks like they'll leave this free kick for Max Stryk to take, the 6'2" Polish keeper. Starting ahead of Daniel Barden, who's on loan from Norwich for the season. Was at Arsenal before joining Norwich. Daniel Barden, the substitute keeper. Sent towards the right hand side this time. Header can't be won by a Livingston player. It's won by Bassi. It's going to be chased down by Scott Wright, but cleared down the line by Obilai, and it will be McMillan to give chase. Headed down by Balogun and cleared away by Bassi up towards Sakala. Headed backwards by Fitzwater to Obilai, and it's now back with the Livingston goalkeeper. Well defended there by Livingston. And then again towards the right hand side with a long kick out from the goalkeeper. Bassi wins the header as far as the Livingston man. It's now with Holt. Back to Obilai. Hooks it down the right hand side. Will it run out of pitch? No, he'll stay in for now and then roll out of pitch. As I think that was Alan Forrest trying to keep it in, doing his best to do so. He is the brother of James Forrest, who plays for Celtic, quite a successful player at Celtic, James Forrest. It's Callum Bassi with the throw-in. Not long till half-time. Hope you're all enjoying the stream. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. We get under a new way for commentaries. Not much of a break, really. About a 2-week break, and then new season starts again. Bassi has another throw-in. Back to Leon Balogun, playing ahead of the likes of Jack Simpson, who was signed from Bournemouth. He ended his 16-year stay at Bournemouth to join Rangers. There's no place in the squad for Filip Helander or Nikola Katic, as Livingston have it back. As a long ball forward was headed back by McMillan. Yep, no Katic as well, who played his first game in the friendly against Brighton, his first appearance in 503 days. His last appearance, I think, was on the 8th of March 2020 and suffered a cruciate, ligament injury, and he was out for that long and just about starting to get back into first team action. So 45 minutes in that friendly was seen as enough for him, and I'm presuming the next month or so you might see him starting a few games. 3 minutes will be added on. That's mainly due to the injury of Hadji, who was replaced by Scott Wright. Livingston have won a throw-in here. On the Rangers, or on the Livingston right, quite far inside the half. If they could get a goal here, it would upset the odds a little bit. McMillan with the throw-in. Hooks forward by Holt. Anderson will try and get there, but it's hooked away by Davis. Kamara. Davis towards Sakala. Can't win it on Obilai, but The header from the Livingston central defender goes out for a Rangers throw-in. Yeah, Livingston have gone through some tough times, in the last 15, 20 years. They were put into administration back in 2004. They came out of that administration over a year later in 2005 and had to make all the players and staff redundant after debts of 7.2 million. You've got to remember the money in the Scottish game is a lot less than in the British in the English game. So that was tough for them. And then in 2009 they were demoted to the third division after a breach of rules. And then they did get back into the Premiership after back-to-back titles in the third and second division. And then their first season back in the Premiership in the 2012-13 season, they had one of their best finishes in fourth. And then as well, before COVID hit, when the Scottish season was scrapped pretty much, they were fifth and then finished sixth last year. So they're definitely on the rise, Livingston. A loss of some big players in the summer has meant they're not really favoured to finish too high this season, but under David Martindale, who won two Manager of the Month last year. He won one in December and in January. And he was Livingston assistant for 6 years, under 5 managers until the club thought he was good enough to become the full manager. And he's got a decent record for Livingston as manager. 29 games, 12 wins, 6 draws, 11 losses. Not too bad. As Livingston look like they've got some defending to do just before the half. Sakala on the left. 1-on-1 with Olabelai. Towards the byline, gets a cross in, and it's had to be cut out by Fitzwater. I think this will be the last chance of the half. It's a corner kick for Rangers. Can they double their lead just before the end of the half? Good positive play from Sakala. Not quite getting in the game as much as he would have liked, but he's got to take time to adapt to a new league and a new team. It'll be Tavernier taking in swing. We're just about to hit the 48th minute, which will be the 3 minutes of added on time that was indicated. So this will be taken, and we'll see a whistle blown, headed away by Craig Sibbald, and it is going to be half time. Rangers 1, Livingston 0. Good start from Rangers in their title defence. They want to go unbeaten again, and at this rate, they're starting in the right way. Good positive start. Hadji winning a free kick on the right hand side against Adam Lewis meant that Tavernier could swing a ball in to the back post to Hadji, who won the free kick. He was all alone at the back post. He got it on from his left, cut onto his right, and smashed it into the top left corner from about 7 yards out to give Rangers an early lead. And then from there, not too much to shout about. Rangers only having 4 shots, 3 on target. They were having a lot of the ball. They've had around 75% possession. But in terms of real clear-cut chances, there have not really been too many. Livingston have failed to register a shot yet. That's how much they're struggling, with lone man Bruce Anderson really struggling to get any touches of the ball and really trying to run at Galton or Balogun. So for both teams, chances have been hard to come by, to say the least. But Rangers did get ahead early, meaning they didn't really have to push too hard for another goal. They could take their time and just defend strongly. But for that first 48 minutes we've played, it is Rangers 1, Livingston 0. And one main thing to note as well, Hadji had to come off after being tackled quite maliciously by Adam Lewis. He was brought off and replaced by Scott Wright, and we'll have to see if he will be available, Hadji, for the Tuesday Champions League third round qualifying game against Malmo. But other than that, not too much to write home about for Rangers. But the main thing is they are in the lead against Livingston on this first game of the season on the 31st of July. What a mad start date for the season, so early. But we have got Premier League commentary starting in 2 weeks' time. I'm pretty sure that's when the Premier League starts. I think I'll be doing the first game of the Premier League as well, just due to dates and what's going on those days. So I think I'm going to have to do the Friday game, the first game of the season. I think that's Brentford Arsenal. So that's in 2 weeks. I want to try and do one next week as well, maybe next weekend. So I'm just going to have a look at the fixtures and all that and see what's happening. But I'm going to just go. I usually stay for half time, but I'm going to go for this half time break. Make sure you come back for the second half. I'm going to just change this now because I always forget. I'm going to go for 15 minutes. Make sure you are back. I will be back for the start of the second half. I'll probably back just before the start of the second half. So make sure you're back. I'm just going to go quickly. Make sure you subscribe, like, and come back for the second half, where Rangers are going to be taking a 1-0 lead into the second half. Hello, I'm back. I know it's a bit early, but I got what I needed to do done. So, yeah. If you have any thoughts on the second half, on the first half, let me know. We'll get the chat back up quick. Just got 2-0 Rangers for the second half. Yeah, I think it'll either be a 2 or a 3-0, I think. Thanks to everyone who's liked as well. Subscribed. Obviously, there'll be loads of commentary this season. I think last season, I think I did 51, I think it was. Fully noted commentaries. I think I did my 100th on the channel during the Euros, so obviously a lot of commentaries. It would be difficult getting into college and work and all that this year, so it'll be less time to prepare for them, but I hope I can do the same amount, maybe one a week, every 2 weeks. But while I'm off, I'm going to obviously do loads, as many as I can. So yeah, this is definitely the first one. I want to try and do one next week, but I don't know what the games are next week in terms of just leagues in general. So I want to try and do as many leagues as I can. Not just Scottish, not just English leagues, not even just Champions League. So I'd love the Europa League. I want to try and do that. Maybe I like doing the Bundesliga as well. Didn't do many Championship commentaries. I know I said English leagues then, but I just didn't do many English Championship ones. It was weird. I don't know why. They do start next week, so I might do commentary on Bournemouth West Brom. That's the first game as well of the season. I'm presuming that'll be on Sky. Bournemouth West Brom, 7:45. So I might just do that if I'm free, because yeah, I think I'll just do that one. So at the minute, I'll probably do Bournemouth West Brom next week. Championship, that's Friday, 6th of August. Make sure you're there for that. If I end up doing it, make sure you check the Instagram, where I'll update people on when commentaries are. That's football_ commentaries, and just subscribe to the channel, because you'll get a reminder of when I set it out to schedule. So yeah, second half of this game will be underway pretty soon. Hopefully we'll get a few more goals. Hopefully we'll get a shot from Livingston. That'll be a good start, won't it? But it was always going to be a struggle and a challenge for Livingston. We knew that. I've got nothing against them at all in terms of their attempts to win this game, because Rangers are really strong now. They've got a really strong squad, and I think the difference with this squad, this Rangers squad, the depth of quality. It's all good having a good starting 11, but when you've got just a good starting 11, that's when it comes to a problem. I use this with Manchester United a little bit. Manchester United's first team, especially now with their signings of Sancho and Varane, could easily challenge and possibly win a Premier League. But if you don't have the depth like City do have, and Liverpool struggle with that a little bit, but Liverpool pretty good with getting no injuries. But if you don't have the depth, then it's hard to keep that up, because your first team can't play every single game of the season. You're going to get injuries, you're going to get suspensions, and I feel like with this Rangers squad, more in terms of Europe than their league, because let's be honest, the Scottish League isn't too difficult, and I don't want to say that because I do like the Scottish League, but the depth and quality between the bottom and the top is so big, especially financially. It's like the Premier League. The depth of quality between last and first is massive, but their money in terms of TV rights and all that, and just money in general, it allows them to survive. In the Scottish League, you've got to use the money wisely and correctly. It's like with Premier League teams, if they get relegated to the Championship, they'll lose a lot of money. But if they go back up to the Premier League, that money you get from Championship to Premier League is so big. So that's the difference. So hopefully we can see Rangers, showing what Scottish football is all about in the Champions League, and hopefully Celtic can do that if they get into the Europa League. I don't know if they can get into the Europa League. I'm pretty sure they can, but we're about to get underway for the second half. Wow, the adverts are finished, and we're going to get straight underway. It'll be Livingston's kick-off, kicking right to left. Rangers will be kicking left to right, and we're back underway for the second half between Rangers and Livingston. Down the left-hand side it goes, headed on by Tavernier, and cleared away by Tavernier. Forward though to Anderson, tries to take it under control but can't. So that's the Carlo who dropped deep, trying to hold it up, can't quite do so. It's now Anderson, too slow to release. Kicked out of play by a Rangers man for a throw-in for Livingston, as they're already quite high into the Rangers half here, as they look to try and maybe get an early goal. I'll have to wait and see. Be Lewis take the throw-in. He gets the return and goes back to Jack Fitzwater, the Englishman. It's not Obilai. Lifted ball in behind. Is he onside? No, he's not. Penrice tries to lob the keeper. Saved anyway, but I think he knew he was offside there. James Penrice did have a loan spell at Livingston from August 2017 to January 2018 before becoming a new signing this summer, like officially and permanent as well. So he has been at Livingston before, as Stephen Davis gives it away on the halfway, and Craig Sibbald can bring Livingston forward here. Brings Penrice into play. Can't get away from Scott Wright, but does win it back from Stephen Davis. Sibbald brought down cynically by Scott Wright, and it'll be a free kick for Livingston on the left. Great position and area to get across, and he's definitely been their best player by a country mile. Craig Sibbald, he's been fantastic. The man who is unbeaten for Livingston when he scores a goal. Unbeaten in 14 when scored, so 14 separate games. He's won 11 of them and drawn 3, so usually a pretty good luck charm when he scores. Won't be a chance to score from this free kick, but it's a great chance to maybe provide an assist on his left foot. He does leave it though. For Forest, ball swinging in, and what a waste. Too much on it, too high, towards absolutely no one, and a goal kick for Rangers. It's just positions like that where they need to make the most of the chances, because they've not even had a shot yet, and they put in crosses like that. Thankfully for Livingston, they've been given the ball back, and then they keep right back to Rangers, but thankfully they've won it back once again with Obilai sending it forward over the top. Chases on for the ball from Alan Forrest, but will never get there ahead of John McLaughlin, with the Rangers keeper, and Rangers are back in possession. 2.5 minutes into this second half. Livingston coming out on top so far, but again, that's only 2.5 minutes in. The Rangers will sure stamp their authority back on the game. As Connor Galton brings it forward to Balogun. Bassey. It's going to have to be forced back to the goalkeeper, John McLaughlin here, who spent 2 years at Sunderland back in 2018 to 2020, 90 appearances, making his only his 15th Rangers appearance. Well, he conceded 3 goals in those previous 14. Galton, what a switch out wide left. Bassey brings it down on the chest, looking to get a cross in. He will find a cross. It'll be fired away by Obilai. And then they try and get it forward with a volley from Scott Wright, always travelling over the bar, but positive play there from Scott Wright. Fell to him on the volley. He fancied it. Good cross there from Bassey. Good defending by Obilai. Then to Davis. Lifted it into Kent. Chested it down for Scott Wright. That would have been a really, really good goal if he'd finished that on the volley. But unfortunately not. For Scott Wright, who's got the 1 goal for Rangers, and that was against St Johnstone last season. Stryek. His goal kick for Livingston. In the air it goes. Connor Galton can win it. Headed to the Livingston left, the Rangers right, where Kamara tries to bring it down and does do so nicely, and wins a throw in as he's tackled strongly there by Adam Lewis. Did spend last season on loan as well. Adam Lewis on loan this season to Livingston, but last season he was on loan to Amiens in France and Plymouth as well. So a couple of loans for the 21-year-old, and he'll look to get some good experience in this division this season under David Martindale. 2 losses for the Livingston manager against Rangers when played, both at home as well for Livingston, so his first away trip to the Ibrox. Previous ones were 1-0 and 3-0 in 2021. Bit of head-to-head. Last meeting, Rangers did win 3-0. It was back in May of this year. Tavernier scored, Kent scored, and Hadji. Rangers only selected 6 subs and used 5 of them, and Aribo was playing left-back that game due to a few injury struggles, as Bassey's cross is wild and it will go all the way out for a goal kick. But yeah, Rangers scored 53 times in this fixture, and Livingston scoring 11. Rangers scoring 17 in the last 10, so not many goals really. When you think about Rangers wanting to dominate this fixture, 17 and 10, that's, you know, just under 2 a game. They've currently got 1 in this game, and it means they're in the lead. Livingston need to have a shot to think about changing the scoreline. Stryjek up towards Bruce Anderson. Balogun clears. All as far as Alan Forrest. Back it goes to Adam Lewis. Oh, can't quite clear it in time before Scott Wright gets there ahead of him. He's got a lot of room down the right-hand side. He enters the box. Pulls it back. Kent can't shoot. Forced to play back to Kamara. Lays it off to Davis, who can't shoot because he's been tackled by Penrice. And it can be cleared by Livingston up towards Bruce Anderson. Can't bring it down on Connor Goldson. Great defending by the former Brighton player. And to another former Brighton player, Balogun. Bassi. Back to Aribo. Tavernier to Kent. Oh, just behind him as he's found himself still on the right hand side after the pullback from Scott Wright. Meant he had to drag himself over to the right hand side there. Ryan Kent did spend the first half of the 2017-18 season, Ryan Kent on loan at Freiburg. Only made the 6 appearances, and I don't think he scored, but you do see a lot of English talent finding their way over in Germany. That was only a loan spell, obviously didn't quite work for him. In the end, Ryan Kent, as he barges Liverpool under-23 player Adam Lewis to the ground and wins a throw-in for Rangers. Great strength there from Ryan Kent. Connor Goldson. Yet to be sent off. Connor Goldson as a centre-back in 328 professional appearances at club level for many different clubs. He's yet to be sent off, which I found quite, amazing. Because, as a centre-back, you're always bound to find yourself in a situation where you might have to get yourself sent off if that's to avoid a goal, or in many ways you can get sent off, but no, not yet. Watch me jinx it and him get sent off in this game now. Last man challenge. As Aribo just about gets it back to Tavernier as he gets himself into a central midfield area. So Scott Wright now to the right side to Aribo. He's got Stephen Davis in support. Uses him, crosses it, blocked by Adam Lewis. Free kick, well, not free kick, throw-in, not throw-in. Corner for Rangers. Just about got it out of there. Scott Davis. Stephen Davis, really just an incredible act. 36 years of age, but very much he reminds me of Fernandinho. The way he can keep up with the game, just kind of playing that central midfield role. Just dictate the play and not really get lost in the game because of his lack of pace. Tavernier swings this ball in, headed backwards by Obilai, the defender, and it's collected by Stryjek, despite being pressured, I think there by Aribo. And it looks like Livingston are going to make the first change. Very, very interesting. I feel like the change is definitely needed. Try and cause a sway in this game of Livingston chances maybe as it's headed on to Bruce Anderson, who holds it up, can't quite find Pittman on the right. Holt keeps the possession for Livingston. It's now with Forrest. Try and get beyond Bassi. He's got Holt in support and Pittman. Going to go on his own, try and get around Bassi. Does too much and Bassi can see it out for a goal kick. Unbelievable defending, met by another round of applause to the left back. 1-on-1 there. Forrest. And as he tried to make a move, his touch was too heavy and he couldn't get around Bassi and he saw the ball out for a goal kick. His new signing from Sheffield United, John Lundstrom, is currently warming up. We might see a bit of him this opening day of the season. Kent, tackled by Forrest, and it'll be a throw-in for Bassi to take. 10 minutes into the second half, Rangers just starting to get a grip of this game as this will be the Livingston substitution. Roll of the dice here for Livingston. Number 16 will be coming on. Number 16? Why did it say on that? Number 37 will be coming on. Haze Kabia, born in Cork of Ireland, signed in January 2021 from Shelbourne. He's a right winger. Got 2 assists so far in the League Cup this season. He will replace Adam Lewis, so that's The left back coming off for a winger. So a bit of a change maybe in formation for Livingston. As they concede another throw in deep inside their own half here. So a positive change from the manager, which you like to see. 9 appearances last season for Livingston, 11 altogether. Bassey lifts over the top, looking for the run of Kent. Too much on it, and he'll be seen out for a goal kick for Livingston. Not the greatest of Scottish Premiership debuts for Adam Lewis, and it looks like he's been brought off because he's just holding his left hamstring there. In fairness to him, after the mistake of giving away the free kick and the booking within about 15 minutes, he settled down and was not too bad for the remainder of the game, the time he was on, but looks like he's just clutching the hamstring there, he's putting ice on it, so maybe it's not a tactical but a forced substitution. Galton plays it back to McLaughlin, chased down by Kabir. Headed forward. Forrest, met by Bassey, out strengthened again by the left back. And can win the free kick as he's being held by Alan Forrest. Really good defending by Bassey. He's probably up there with my man of the match so far. Calvin Bassey. Really good down that left-hand side for Rangers, the left back. It looks like Kabir is situated in the left wing area. He's usually a right winger but can play on the left as well. So that does mean Penrice, who is usually a left back, who's been playing left wing, will just drop into left back. Kabir will play on the left. So not really much of a switch around in terms of players playing that position. Penrice is usually a left back. Can Kabir have a difference in this game? Davis, ball over the top, in behind. Tavernier in the box, brings it down, tries to play it across. Nice, intercepted by Penrice. Can he keep it away for a throw-in? No, he can't. It'll be a throw-in for Rangers, as they'll be looking for a second goal. Long throw-in into the midfield to Stephen Davis, about 35 yards away from goal. Back to Connor Galton. Aribo. Halfway line it is, with Leon Balogun. Last game of the season for Rangers last year was a 4-0 win at home, where they lifted a trophy against Aberdeen. And quite the same fireworks in this game so far, as Aribo on the edge of the box. Does he fancy a shot on the left foot? No, he just plays it to Tavernier, who lays it off to Connor Galton. Crosses it. Kent allows the shot to be taken. He's again unmarked. I don't get this with Livingston, leaving players unmarked, but the ball was zipped into Kent just on the edge of the box, and he brought it down and was allowed loads of time to find the shot, and he tried to place it in the bottom right corner, but an easy save in the end for Stryk as he sends the ball forward. Be given chase by Anderson. Header won by Balogun. Header will fall to Forrest, who's been on the ball a lot this second half for Livingston. Just about gets it to Holt. Lifted over the top towards the right-hand side. Out of play. It will go. Oh no, kept in by Ryan Kent. And then cleared towards right. Takes it on the turn. Beautiful from Scott Wright. Gets past Craig Sibbald. He's got Sakala in support. He'll go to the right instead to Aribo. Tries to complete the 1-2 with Scott Wright. Poor ball by Aribo. And Livingston can get on the attack now. Penrice tried to get it through towards Kabir. Met strongly by Connor Galton. And it'll be a throw-in for Livingston. Booking there for someone. I think it was Craig Sibbald who left a little bit on Scott Wright. He did get away from him in the end. That's where the attack was created from. But he did just kick his back legs. Craig Sibbald tried to bring him down. So that's 3 bookings now for Livingston. Lewis, who's come off, so he's obviously not affected by that anymore. Forrest and now Sibbald is Penrice has the throw in. Throws it down the line. Loses out there. I think Anderson. It's cleared away by Rangers. Fantastically brought down by Sakala, and he wins the free kick with a hold-up play. That is unbelievable from the striker. Brings it down beautifully and wins the free kick in his own half to, relieve the pressure. And here comes a Rangers substitution. It will be new signing John Lundstrom. Didn't quite get a goal last year He was born in Liverpool, came through the Everton Academy. He'll be coming on. It's Kent. Chips the ball in. Headed away by Penrice. As far as Stephen Davis, who's met by Kabir, and he's lost out here. Kabir tries to take on Tavernier. The tackle's gone on as far as Sibold. Sends it down the line where no one's there. And Galton can pick it up for Rangers and they have the ball back. Kabir not really making a forward run there. A bit strange that. Laid it off to Sibold and then just didn't make a move forward. As we stay at 1-0. Davis, great ball over the top towards Kent. Cut out nicely by McMillan. And into the keeper's hands it goes to Max Stryk. Also, like McLaughlin, formerly of Sunderland, he was there for 6 years, from 2013 to 2019. Didn't make a first-team appearance, unfortunately, before leaving Sunderland. See, massive kick he's got, but too far. Right back to McLaughlin. Hopefully we don't start having a game of longies between the two keepers here, as he does play it short to Balogun on the edge of the box. McLaughlin. Across to Connor Galton. Scored 92 league goals last year. Rangers, they've already got one so far in this season as Bassey gets the ball from Kent, met with a great strong challenge from Alan Forrest. Had to get it right because he's on a booking. And he plays it forward up towards Anderson, met by another strong challenge, that time by Balogun, and he does win a free kick for his side. Former Aberdeen forward. Yeah, top goal scorer last year was actually Kamar Roof in the league for Rangers. They get 26 clean sheets as well, which is absolutely ridiculous in 38 games. That was obviously between the two keepers of McLaughlin and Alan McGregor. Obilai. Switch towards the left. Can Penrice keep that in? Just about to go for a goal kick. Does swing a cross in as it didn't go out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Livingston. I don't think it went out of play. I think it was kept in by Penrice, and the clearance from the cross has gone out for a throw-in. I don't think that went out of play. Could be wrong, but we'll see. Taking the time for the throw-in. They've got to get opportunities like this right. I still don't think they've had a shot, Livingston. Thrown down the line. Hooked in by Holt. Can be cleared away. Only as far as Fitzwater, who heads it into the sky. Helped on, but then cleared. Kent, for some reason, heads it on when he could have brought it down. Obilai sends it forward. Headed won by Tavernier. Brought down by Sibold. Poor ball. Aribo can pick the ball up in the Rangers' half. And be brought down by Sibold, who is already booked, so has to be careful. Nicely won by Joe Aribo. As here comes the substitute. John Lundstrom is going to replace Joe Aribo. Good run out from Joe Aribo. He did suffer with an ankle injury at the start of last season. This time last season. Had a good season, goals and assists, got 8 goals, 7 assists, but he will be replaced by John Lundstrom, who had a pretty poor season with Sheffield United. Thought it was time for change after a 4-year stint at the Blades. I think it'll be a substitute as well for Livingston. Arguably their best player, Craig Sibold, or one of their best players, especially this game, is going to be replaced. He's going to be replaced by number 2, Nicky Delvin. Yet to play any League Cup games this season. He's been out with an injury. So that's a right back. So I wonder what they're going to do now. Maybe going to a back. It's looking like a back 4 still. I'm not sure. I don't even know what they're doing now. Livingston has ball forward. Sakala nearly gets there. He'll fall to Obilai. He'll volley it away. Up towards nobody. Up there for Livingston, unfortunately. It's now Goldson at the back. And got to build out. John Lundstrom has been given the shirt number 4 as well. Goldson inside the Rangers half. Coming up to 150 years as a club next year. Rangers, founded in 1872, 149 years ago. As Kamara keeps it alive, gets it to Bassey. Cross, dangerous, towards the back post. It missed the keeper, and Tavernier can help it back in and headed away Bit of a mess there for Livingston at the back, but they survive. And they win a free kick as Tavernier catches Kabir late. And it'll be a free kick for Rangers. Good ball from Bassey. Had the keeper trying to go for it, but it went over him and left him in no man's land. But thankfully for him, Jack Fitzwater was there to head the second cross in by Tavernier away. Gerrard looks on. I don't think he'll be happy with this performance. I really don't. I know he's resting a few players for the game against Malmo on Tuesday, but they've not really created many great chances. Stryjek kicks it forward, header won by Galton. Back in. Anderson flicks it on, but Tavernier reads the play well and heads it back to McLaughlin, who decides to keep it on the ground with his feet. And they look to try and play out now with Stephen Davis. Over to Bassey, just inside the Rangers half. Davis, who's the man who keeps the game ticking for Rangers, picks up the ball and then knocks it away. Over to Connor Galton. It's now Lundstrom in the right back area on the halfway line. Can we get another goal for Rangers? Or Livingston? I'm not really bothered who. Balogun strides forward, tries to play a ball forward as well, but really overhit. Goal kick it is. Trying to find the run of Calvin Bassey, but this is a sort of a game that won't excite the Rangers fans, you know. They're back in the grounds finally, about 23,000 of them. And a bit of an underwhelming performance so far, as we've got another change here for Livingston. So they're only allowed 7 changes this year. See who's going to be the man to come off and to come on as well. It'll be Jack Hamilton, number 23, to come on, to an extra striker, hopefully to help support Anderson, who's been there on his own all game. It's flipped on by Kabir to Anderson on the edge, holds it up, shifts the ball, shoots, it deflects, does it? No, straight out for a goal kick. Better though. A shot they've had a shot. No, they've brought off Bruce Anderson, striker for striker. Wow, I thought they would have brought off a midfielder to help Bruce Anderson out up front, because he's not done much wrong. He's just not had the support at all. But Jack Anderson might be a bit more of a threat. 6'2", a bit taller, better for the hold-up play. So Bruce Anderson on his Scottish Premiership debut for Livingston is off, and he's replaced by Jack Hamilton. Was on loan at 2 clubs last year, East Fife and Arbroath. I think that's how you say it. He scored 8 goals in the Championship of Scotland and in League One, 7 in League One. So got his fair few goals when he went to the clubs last season, but he's now at Livingston for the season. Well, it looks like that he's in their plans anyway. Jack Hamilton is a ball over towards Kent, too far forward and collected by the goalkeeper. Hi Callum, hope you're doing all right. For Livingston, this is not a bad performance, keeping the champions at 1-0. Yes, they've created pretty much nothing, but defensively, there's positives to take for sure, but they're not conceding many goals. There's Kamaru, who will be coming on for Rangers soon. Livingston's ball forward, out for a throw-in, right towards the corner flag though. So they've pushed up the pitch, Livingston. Bassey to take the throw-in. It's a long throw-in. Goes over nearly everyone, and Obilai can nod it down to Fitzwater. Looped forward, where Tavernier can just nod it forward into Kent. He looks to charge forward now as he takes the ball really well. Lundstrom's in support down the right. He'll find him. Hold it up back towards Kent, who loses out. And they can try and get away here with Jason Holt. He loses the ball to Tavernier. Wanted to try and find an adventurous ball forward, but decided to keep it simple and find the ball inside Stephen Davis. Kamara. Bassey. Kamara. And into the box is Stephen Davis. Finds the pass through. Ball's all the way to Bassey. Lifts it in. It's a floater towards Tavernier. Wins the header. Sakala. Tackled by Penrice. Looks as far as Kamara on the edge. Shifts it to Bassey. Scoops across in towards Scott Wright. And it's saved by Stryjek. It looped in the air, so it gave him time to dive and to collect the ball, but that was, again, unmarked. How was he unmarked? Scott Wright unmarked in the box, allowed the free header, and it was a good save by Matt Strike. Is this your football season started now yet? Well, for commentaries anyway, this is the start, not much of a break. Not even in August yet. I know it's tomorrow, but you know what I mean. But the new striker signing who did score against Real Madrid in a friendly, his first competitive game for Rangers, Fashion Sakala. It's replaced by the league top goal scorer for Rangers last year, Kemar Roof. Got 18 in all competitions and 36, so averaged a goal every 2 games. Did obviously get that unbelievable halfway goal against Standard Liège in the Europa League. So I think a good debut from Sakala. Didn't really get many opportunities to score, but you know I think he'll definitely be a good backup to have for Alfredo Morelos. Cleared forward by Livingston. Flicked away by Wright, only as far as number 21, McMillan. It looks like he's gone to the left-hand side. He's usually a left-sided player, but he's had to play right back for the majority of today's game. Fitzwater. Poor ball. Can be picked up though by Kabir as Tavernier falls asleep. Tries to slip it through to Hamilton. It's a good idea. Not quite on the same wavelength though. Hamilton pulled back for the pass. Kabir played it forward in behind thinking he was going to make a run. He didn't, and they obviously got lost in translation there, and Rangers now have the ball back. But with the change Livingston have made, I do think they'll have one chance where they could nick it, especially 1-0. The game's always open at 1-0. For sure, as Galton's pass is short. Can be picked up by the number 21 of McMillan. Cleared up forward. Galton's head has been put inside, but is a free kick anyway, as I think Galton was fouled as he went for the header. Galton to take this free kick just inside the Rangers half. Switched over to Calvin Bassey. Kent. Bassey. Thing is, with this game, Celtic will know what they have to match in the first game of the season they play later on. So Rangers will want a few goals to put the pressure on, show what they're about this season. Lundstrom completing a good few 1-2s with Kamara, and then finds a ball over the top towards Kamara Roof. Great thinking from Lundstrom. If that had come off, that'd been fantastic. I think Kamara Roof was offside from the ball forward. Great play from Lundstrom. It looks like they were just going to keep it simple, then just switched it quick in behind, caught out Livingston, but I think also caught out Kamara Roof a little bit. Wasn't quite ready and was caught offside. Again, another long ball forward by Livingston. It goes straight out for a goal kick. Have they not seen that they've been doing that all game and it's just not working for them? They need to try and get the ball on the ground a little bit. Get Rangers moving. They made, all their subs. I'm presuming they can only have 3, not 5 this time. They made them all and they need to try and make something happen with the subs. I think Kabir has been decent since coming on. Someone who hasn't been in the game, I think, at all, and I'm disappointed because I'm looking forward to watching him. It's got to be Scott Pittman, the captain. I've just not really said his name at all. Decent season last year in terms of numbers. He's been at the club now since 2015. He's now captain as well, the 29-year-old, and he's just not really had an impact in the game. I know it's obviously not been that game for Livingston where the midfielders are going to get on the ball like Rangers and knock it about, but he's just not really done anything of note. I say that, he might go and win like a free kick and score the winner now, or score an equaliser late on, but so far he's not really impressed with now 16 minutes to go, plus added on time. Tavernier's out wide right with a throw-in. It's kind of halfway inside the Livingston half. Throws it in towards Kamara Roof. Touch down towards Lundstrom. Can be cleared away though by Jason Holt. Header by Balogun to Galton as Rangers are now back in possession once again. To halfway line with Kent. Back to Stephen Davis. Galton. Lifted ball. Over the top towards Bassey on the left. Brings it down wonderfully again. What a performance he's having. He gets it into Kent. Kamara Roof spins his man. Lays it off to Lundstrom. Short pass into Kamara, who wins it back fairly. It was strong but fairly, but then Lundstrom loses out. Wins it back. Tavernier. His play stops as the Kamara challenge, which was strong, is left the Livingston man down in pain. He's gone in, I think we've maybe stood showing, but he did win the ball, so it's going to have to be a replay job to see if it was fair or not. Kamara got it. laid off short by Lundstrom, and Kabia, no, fair challenge. Shouldn't have stopped play. I know he was down hurt, but that challenge was completely fine. I don't know if it was maybe impact, but in terms of there's no stud showing, it was a fair challenge. So I'm hoping he's okay, but shouldn't have been a free kick. We shouldn't have stopped play. If play should have been stopped, it would have been Rangers to kick it out of play. It's going to be a bit of a drinks break now for everyone. Get the fluids back on. As Livingston look to try and nick a shock point if they can conjure an attack up. But Yaze Kabia is still down from that Kamara challenge. Rangers having a bit of a tactical chat, led by Steven Gerrard, who obviously won the Scottish Premiership last year and won Manager of the Year for the Scottish Premiership. No surprise there. The man who did play 710 matches competitively for Liverpool. Incredible stat. What a one-man team. What a one-man club he was for the majority of his career. Did see his career out at LA Galaxy. But we know where his heart lies, and it is very much in Liverpool. But is starting to string a very, very strong relationship with the Rangers fans. Winning that league, doing really well in the Europa League, and fantastic for Steven Gerrard to see he's doing well in management in his first job. Jermaine Defoe is on the bench. I'm not sure what his role is. I know he's become part of the coaching staff, but I think he's also a player as well, I think he's kind of player coach. Tavernier gets it back inside to Kamaru. We're back underway. Laid it into Stephen Davis. Kavia has just entered the pitch as he looks to close down Tavernier. Can he find space for a cross? No, he tries to take on the Livingston players and he does do so. Then lays it off to Scott Wright, who pulls it back, deflects to Kent, spins, shoots, deflected to Tavernier, can't do anything with it. Scott Wright, 2 strikes! What a goal! On the outside of the right boot, he looks like he sealed the first 3 points for Rangers in the season. He's absolutely delighted. It's only his second goal for the club since joining in February of this year. And in a tight space, he's wrapped his boot around the ball with the outside of his boot as well. Into that far corner. Tavernier went down the right, played it into Scott Wright, pulled it back to Kent, tried to get a shot away, but couldn't quite get it towards the goalkeeper. It was blocked, looped in the air, headed by Tavernier, down to Scott Wright, and as he's getting closed down by 2 Livingston players, he somehow gets the ball and his foot right in between both of them and curls it to the far post, side netting. What an unbelievable goal from Scott Wright. And that's going to kill the game off now for Livingston. Unbelievable. That header from Tavernier, just to flick it down next to his teammate and to get his right boot and the ball right in between the 2 Livingston players who were closing him down, and to get the conviction on goal to get it that accurately into the corner. Unbelievable. Rangers 2, Livingston 0, and I think that is the game and the points are wrapped up for Rangers. What a finish. Unbelievable. What a goal. I think they've had a problem with the clock here. We're back to 45 minutes. What's going on? But it looks like Kabiya's down again from that challenge from Kamara. I think it was just the impact of it. It was quite a heavy impact challenge and he's having to come off. Livingston are going to end the game with 10 men. They've used all 3 substitutes. Yaze Kabiya would not have wanted to end the game this way, but the young 21-year-old's having to come off. The challenge was fine by Kamara. Went right through the man, but got the ball first and didn't use any of the studs. But the impact obviously had an impact on Kabiya's game. He's had to come off as Obilai slices a clearance as the ball was lifted towards the centre-back and he sliced it for a corner. Not great for Livingston as they could concede a late flurry of goals here. Tavernier comes over to the corner. Claps the supporters as he's met by a loud cheer. The 29-year-old captain was at Newcastle for the early parts of his career, but has found a home at Rangers. He was also at Leeds even sooner than Newcastle. He was there from 2001-2008, then at Newcastle from 2008 to 2014. Tavernier, outswinging cross towards the back stick, misses Connor Goldson, but will fall to Kent. Tries to shoot, blocked. Goldson brings it down as it loops in the air. Tries to go down the left-hand side byline. Wins another corner though. Nicely played by Connor Goldson. Made vice-captain now for Rangers as Stephen Gerrard sees the leadership qualities in him as Tavernier's back by another round of applause from the opposite side of the corner. It's an in-swinger this time. It's a dangerous ball in. Connor Goldson can't quite help it on. Fitzwater wins the header and it's helped on again by Forrest. As far as Kamara. Kent. Outside the box it goes to Goldson. Does he fancy a shot? Yes, he does. It's blocked and it will fall out for another corner. Livingston plays through their bodies at it. Penrice and Fitzwater and a free kick's been given as Goldson shot. I think Kent was in an offside position. He did leave the ball, so I'm surprised they've given that, but an offside it is and a free kick for Livingston as they've come under quite a bit of pressure in the last 5 or so minutes. It's Strike with the free kick. It's a long ball and it's a easy header back to the goalkeeper from Goldson to McLaughlin as it looks like he's going to get another clean sheet in his Rangers career. He's already got 12 clean sheets in 14 appearances. It's going to be 13 and 15 if this stays the same. Kamara to the substitute John Lundstrom. Lays it off into Tavernier. It's now Scott Wright who got the second goal. And it was a beautiful goal from the outside of his right boot. It's Kamara. Back heels it into Lundstrom. Across to Kent. He's going to go one more to Bassi on the left. He's been fantastic today. He's going to get a shot at goal. Or was it a cross? I'm not sure, but it was not the greatest of crosses. He's met by a bit of a shout from Kamara. Not happy with the cross. It was a high and powerful cross towards the back post, I think it was. He's going to aim towards Tavernier, but Kamara thwarted it towards him at the near post. Didn't really hit either. Went round for a goal kick. As it's not the worst of defensive performances from Livingston. They can definitely take positives out of this game, but offensively they just weren't really at it. They weren't able to get the ball on the ground and play. They just kept going long every time, and it's just not worked. And it's happened again from the goal kick. Goldson's picked it up and will set Rangers to go forward. Scott Wright, he'll be full of confidence. Plays through towards Kamaru, who won't get there ahead of Fitzwater, who attempts to clear with the left foot, and he gets it off Kamaru last for a throw-in. He's been pretty solid, Jack Fitzwater, in this game. What he's had to do, he's done well. "23-year-old Englishman, Jack Fitzwater. And then with Mick Millen, who played the majority of this game at right back, he's now over at left back. That is his usual position. Left back. Throwing down the line. Header won by Lundstrom. Back it goes to Goldson. And once more to McLaughlin as Rangers again back in possession. Goldson. Across Stephen Davis, just planted between the two centre-backs, just inside the Rangers half as they just knock the ball about. They know they've got the 2-goal cushion now, so they can relax a lot more. Forward to Lundstrom. Right, laid it off first time to Lundstrom. Tavernier looking over the top and around the corner to Scott Wright as he makes the run into the box. It's cut out by Jack Fitzwater. And it will be a corner kick with the clearance. He's adamant it was a throw-in, Jack Fitzwater, but it's gone out for a corner, says the linesman. Two linesmen we've had today of Dougie Potter and Alistair Mather. Fourth official of Ewan Anderson. Tavernier, outswinging ball. He'll want an assist. He's already got one through the free kick cross with Hadji for the first goal. Ball in, it deflects away for another corner. I think it's Jack Fitzwater again. It was going towards Kamar Roof and Goldson, but as it went into the danger area, flicked on by Roof towards Goldson, but it was cut out, I think, by Jack Fitzwater. So 5 minutes to go, plus added on time. We've got another James Tavernier corner kick. Crossed in, then the keeper comes to collect. Good positive goalkeeping by Stryk. He'll wait for the Livingston players to push forward. As he keeps hold of the ball. Could have been a counter-attack on. I think someone was making a run to the right. I didn't quite see who it was, but decided to go against it and just keep the ball in his hands. As he does then kick the ball out of his hands towards the Livingston right. Can't be helped on. Caught out by Bassey to Davis. Right. Back to Davis again. Nice turn. It's now Kamara. Out to Tavernier. Loads of room on the right. This is great play from Rangers. Could they get a third goal? Crossed in towards Kamara over his head. And again caught confidently by Stryk. But it's a short roll out. Kent can pick it back up. To go back to Bassey. Well played from Kent. Kent cutting in from the left onto the right. Does he fancy a shot? Well, he won't fancy a shot after being taken out like that. Free kick for Rangers. Quite far out, but definitely a shooting opportunity. Their 4th yellow card of the game for Livingston. This is Penrice this time. As he looked to try and get a shot on the right foot. He was just taken out by Penrice. Was never ever getting the ball there. And if we get a goal here from this free kick, it'll be quite a wonder of a free kick. Closer than I thought. Tavernier will take it. It's about 25 yards out, I would say. Maybe a bit further out, 26 yards out. But this is perfect for Tavernier in terms of the angle for the right-footed player. Absolutely perfect. He could bag his first goal of the season here. It's his 290th Rangers appearance. He's already scored 65 goals in those appearances. It's now appearance 290. Can he add to his goal tally for Rangers? No, he can't. He does get it over the wall, but it's an easy catch in the end for the goalkeeper. Not really hit with enough power or height, really. It was a perfect height for the goalkeeper. As he'll kick it out of his hands again. I'm presuming this will go straight onto the head of Connor Galton or someone like that. Yep, here we go. Ball in the air. Header won by Galton. Straight to Scott Wright. You can just read it now. One back, though, by Pittman. The Livingston captain. McMillan. Down the line, and no one's there. Big shock. In fairness, Livingston have been down to 10 men for the last 5 to 10 minutes because Haze Kabir had to come off with an injury and they already used all 3 substitutes. So that's understandable why they're probably struggling on that left-hand side because their left wingers come off. But they're not struggling. Rangers on the left. Bassey again, another poor cross. Goes all the way over to Tavernier. Zipped it back inside. Davis. Kent on the edge. Try to shift it onto his left. Does do so. Lays it off to Lundstrom. Lifted in towards Kamar Roof. Does fall to him in the end, but he's penalised by the referee there, Kamar Roof. Bassey's been great at left back, and I've sung his praises all game, but some of his crosses later on in these games haven't been great. A lot of them have been overhit, so he just has to work on that, but he's been great overall, Calvin Bassey, and I'm going to give him a man of the match now. I need to try and remember to do man of the matches for games I commentate on. Calvin Bassey is mine today. Obviously, has to impress because Borna Barisic is ahead of him in the pecking order. He's just been rested for Tuesday's game. But he's really showing what he can do in that left-back area. As I've already got the ball back with a Calvin Bassey throwing. Livingston can't keep the ball. Galton in the Rangers half. Brings it forward. Zips it into Scott Wright. We're in the Livingston half. Finds Lundstrom on the right wing area. He's picked up here. Holds it up. Finds the ball inside to Scott Wright. Back we go to Tavernier. Could maybe work a cross in here. Finds Kamara. Just playing a bit of controlled possession here. Not having to rush or, panic with anything. Because they've got the 2-goal lead. And it looks like they're on the way to 3 points. But it's a great ball from Kamara through the gap to Stephen Davis. Pulls it back to Tavernier. Across towards the back post. Cleared away by Livingston. Getting it away from Kent. But they come again. Davis. Lifted ball in. Good header by Oberlai. Only as far as Bassey in the box. It falls to Kamaru, who smashes in from 4 yards out. He got 14 last year and was Rangers' top goal scorer in the league. And off the bench, he's already started his goal scoring account for this season. It was a little bit of a scrappy goal. But Rangers have hit 3. As they have strolled to 3 points on the opening day of the season. Davis picks it up. Put a dinks cross in. Header won by Oberlei into the air where Bassey brought it down. He was tackled in the end, right on the edge of the 6-yard box. And as he was tackled by a Livingston player, that tackle just fell right into the 6-yard box where it just lay nicely on a plate to Kamaru, who was there ready first and just lifted it over the keeper to the left-hand side of the goal. Yeah, tackled there, Bassey, and the tackle went straight into the path of Kamaru. Really unlucky that. Oh, Alan Forrest tried to do his defensive work. His tackle fell straight into the path of Kamaru, 4 yards out, smashes it home. Rangers 3, Livingston 0, and they're starting where they left off last season with a dominant performance. Rangers 3, Livingston 0. 3 minutes of added on time, we've nearly played a minute of that already. I said 3-0, just didn't get scores right. No, that's good. No, I think getting the score right is good enough. I mean, if you get the score right and the score, if you get the score right and the scorers, that is pretty impressive. But yeah, Sakala just wasn't quite giving the right service in the game, and Kamaru was just ready there after obviously quite an unfortunate moment for Alan Forrest in the defensive area. As they do come again, could they really start off from where they left off last year? The last game of the season was a 4-0 win against Aberdeen. They're through in the box again. Scott Wright just needs to pick the right ball. It's Lundstrom across to Kamara, and how's he missed? 6 yards out. I think he was just leaning back and he was a bit off balance. Blazes it over the crossbar. And after Livingston having a pretty decent performance defensively, they've just started to show a few cracks in the last 15 minutes of this game, and they're now 3-0 down. Should have been 4. Scott Wright put it back to Lundstrom, who went across to Kamara. Bit off balance. And over the bar it went. Don't think he realised how much time he had. The Finnish international did play all the minutes for Finland in the Euros, Glenn Kamara. As we've got 60 seconds left. Strike with the goal kick, and what a shock. Headed back by Galton to John McLaughlin. What a shock. Livingston have just really struggled today, not being able to play football at all. And they're going to push for a 4th here, Rangers. They want to start this season with a bang. Scott Wright, chest down to Lundstrom. That goal from Scott Wright really gave him a lot of confidence. He's been playing with just a bit more swagger when he gets on the ball. Stephen Davis across to Glenn Kamara. We've got 30 seconds left of this first game for Rangers in the Scottish Premiership season. Ryan Kent, nice bit of skill and pace, but good tackle, fair enough. Real good tackle there from Nicky Delvin. Take the ball away from him. Only momentarily as Calvin Bassey wins it back, and wins a free kick there, right in the corner flag, and Nicky Delvin's been booked as Calvin Bassey pushed the right back. He was obviously not happy with the challenge in the corner flag. It was a reaction there from Bassey. It went right through the back of him, both players actually, Alan Forrest and Nicky Delvin. Oh! Nicky Delvin just kicked the back of Calvin Bassey's thigh. Lucky to get away with that with just the yellow. Naughty that. Nicky Delvin. No reason there to really... I get why Bassey reacted. Just as he fouled him, where the referee couldn't see, just around the back of him, kicked the back of his leg. And unfortunately for Livingston, that'll be the last action of the game. That's what the game will be remembered on. It has been blown up for full time. Rangers begin with a win before their trip to Sweden against Malmo in the Champions League qualifying rounds. What a great way to prepare for that game with a 3-0 standard win against Livingston. Didn't really have to try too hard. They did struggle to create chances in the first 75 minutes of the game, Rangers, but then the floodgates started opening as Livingston tired. Scott Wright scored in the 78th minute with a great goal in the box with the outside of his right boot, and Kamaru finished it off as he was given a chance from 4 yards out. Didn't miss the opportunity to get his goal scoring underway, and even without Alfredo Morelos, they're still scoring the goals. Great performance from Rangers. Livingston struggled, but I don't think Livingston will be worrying too much about the progress and how their performances are against Rangers. Their sights are set elsewhere, more mid-table. Livingston then going for the top 3 positions, so they won't worry too much. It's the opening game of the season. You can always take positives and learn from your mistakes, and that's what Livingston need to do. Some of their defending was quite poor, but for Rangers, they did what they needed to do. They came out with a win, and quite a convincing one, to say the least. That's going to be the end of the commentary. I hope you enjoyed the first commentary of the 2021-2022 season. We started in Scotland with this Rangers game. I'm going to be doing commentaries on the Premier League. I think the next one's going to be on the Championship, Champions League, Europa League, more Scottish League games as well, maybe some Bundesliga. We're going to try and do it all this year, so make sure you subscribe and like. Follow the Instagram in the description, football_commentaries, so you don't miss out on when there's going to be a commentary on this channel. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe. Rangers walk away with the 3 points after the demolition job they've just done on Livingston. They've got bigger objectives on hand though currently at the minute as they do travel to Malmo for that Champions League first leg, qualifying round, third round. They need to win it. Can they do it for Scottish football? They've got off to a good start in this league. Can they get off to a good start in the Champions League? We'll find out, but for this game it's finished Rangers 3, Livingston 0.